Good morning. Thank you all for coming. I'm Dan Esty, Commissioner of Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. And it's a great pleasure to be able to welcome you today to our Electric Vehicle Connecticut Expo. And we're very excited about the opportunity that is all around you today. So thanks to everyone who is part of this, particular thanks to Middlesex Community College. We're thrilled to be here and thrilled at having you host us. Thanks as well to the City of Middletown and Mayor Dan Drew. Thank you. I will be calling both of you forward in just a moment. I particularly want to thank Commissioner Jim Redeker of the Department of Transportation, who is my partner in the endeavor that we are pushing forward here today in a big way. As all of you know, Governor Malloy has made a changing state government one of the real pillars of his governorship. And he's asked Commissioner Redeker in the Department of Transportation to transform how work gets done in our transportation arena. He's asked me to merge energy into environment to a new Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. He has pushed us together to do a comprehensive energy strategy, not defined by the old silos of state government, but in a very integrated way. And I'm extremely grateful to the work put in not only by our own Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, the staff there, but by the transportation folks, as one of the pillars of this strategy is a transformed transportation future with all of the implications that has for energy. So we celebrate here today that commitment to an energy future that has a transportation dimension, particularly a focus on having Connecticut be positioned for leadership on clean fuels and clean vehicles. And the reasons to move in that direction are many. You'll hear about some of them today. But at the core of it is an opportunity to reduce air pollution. And Ann Gobin and our air team from the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is here to celebrate that part of the agenda. So thank you, Ann, for your team's work. So we will reduce our air pollution to the extent electric vehicles are out there as an option. And again, the governor's spirit here is not to tell people what the answer is, but to provide choice. And we want to make sure it's a real choice when it comes to vehicles, not a choice constrained by the lack of existing infrastructure. So we celebrate today both the existence of a lot of choices when it comes to electric vehicles and the launch of a program to ensure that we will have the build-out of electric vehicle charging stations across this state in short order, such that we will be able to ensure that the driving public can make a choice of an electric vehicle without fear of running out of juice while they're out on the road. So we are launching today a program to share the cost of building that infrastructure with public facilities. So we're asking the mayor and the president of the community colleges across the state to put in electric vehicle charging stations. The department will share the cost of that. And we're also asking private sector partners, shopping centers, supermarkets, parking lot owners, managers, to put in those electric vehicle charging stations, and we will provide some support to ensure that gets done. The goal is to end what is known as range anxiety, the fear of running out of power when you're out driving your electric vehicle. And with the program we launched today, we will, by the end of this year, be able to say that Connecticut is electric vehicle friendly across the state. You'll always be within 10 or 15 minutes of a charging station and able to get repowered when you need it. So that's the opening remarks I wanted to make. I want to introduce a couple of other speakers, and we'll come back and talk a little more about what we're doing here today. But particularly, let me introduce Mayor Dan Drew, who's been a great partner to our department on many projects and whose commitment to a clean energy future is a great example of how the state government and the local governments work together. So it's a real pleasure to be here in Middletown.
Good morning. It's good to be here with you. I'm very excited, even though I feel a little silly. I drove here in a Crown Victoria, which gets about 2.5 miles to the gallon. But when I replace it, perhaps I'll get a Chevy Volt or a Prius, because hopefully we'll have these charging stations here in town. It's about time that we do something like this, and I'd like to welcome Commissioner Esty and Commissioner Redeker and thank President Wasescha from the Community College for hosting us here today. If you think about where we were 110 years ago, when this country first started to get extremely aggressive about pumping petroleum out of the ground and refining it into various forms of fuel. We've come so far since then. We've created powered flight, we've flown to, landed on, extracted material from, and flown back from the moon safely. We've created supersonic aircraft that can pierce the uppermost layers of our atmosphere. We've created an internet that can take little bits of information, transform them into ones and zeros in the forms of electrons, and shoot them around the world in seconds. We have the most incredible technology available to us in almost any arena. But today, our automobiles are still powered by the same technology they were essentially 110 years ago. The internal combustion engine in most of our vehicles is very similar to the one in the Model T with a few technological enhancements. But the basic fundamental principle of how to make that vehicle move and how our transportation infrastructure is powered has not changed significantly. And I think it's a hallmark of the Yankee ingenuity that we have here in the state of Connecticut that Governor Malloy, Commissioner Esty, and Commissioner Redeker are leading the charge in developing a new type of transportation infrastructure, one that will carry us into the 21st century and ensure that the way we power our vehicles matches the rest of the technology that we have available to us in our lives. You know, when I think about the Jackson Labs coming here, they're going to, in the next couple of years, be able to prototype medicines to your specific genome. They're going to be able to read the genes in your body and determine what courses of treatment are the best for you. There's no reason that we shouldn't be able to catch up in our transportation infrastructure as well. And the fact that Connecticut is leading the charge in the country at a time when electricity prices are going down and natural gas is so abundant is extremely apropos, and it's very exciting, and I'm very proud to be here in the midst of it. So I'd like to welcome you all here today to the city of Middletown. I'm very glad to see so many people enthusiastic about creating a more sustainable transportation infrastructure for the coming generations, because this is about more than affordability. It's about more than just being sure that we have the ability to get around. It's about making sure that the air we breathe and the water that we drink are eminently cleaner than they otherwise would have been, because this effort will help us reduce output of fossil fuels into our environment. So thank you so much, commissioners. Thank you, President Wasescha, and God bless you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mayor Drew, and thank you for your ongoing partnership. So it's now a great pleasure to introduce President Anna Wasescha.
Well, welcome everybody to Middlesex Community College. I'm so excited to see so many of you here today. Middlesex, along with about 700 other colleges and universities in this country, signed the President's climate commitment. That means that we are creating plans and taking actions to reduce our carbon footprint to zero. And I've been working on this for several years, and I'll tell you, we've done a very lot of work here at Middlesex to reduce our energy consumption. The one really difficult nut to crack is going to be so many students commuting to campus using cars that burn gasoline as their fuel. So our hope, our only hope to reduce our carbon footprint to zero is for a transformation in our country to move our vehicles to electric and hybrid vehicles. And I want to put in a quick pitch for it, and it's not just cars, it's also bicycles and motorcycles. So there's a huge range of things that can be run on electric power, and we as a college or a series of colleges, a whole collection of colleges across the country, can't do this on our own. We need the help of the state and the federal government and our local municipal officials, our corporations, our social agencies. Everybody's got to be pulling together to do this. So this is a big day for Connecticut, and it's, for me, another reason to be so hopeful that eventually we'll reduce our carbon footprint to zero and try to get below 350 parts per million of carbon in the atmosphere, which is the goal to sustain us and our lives on this planet. So welcome today, and thank you, Commissioner Esty.
Thank you, President Wasescha, and thank you, Dean Steve Minkler and all of the team here at Middlesex Community College for stepping up today, hosting us in such great circumstances, and allowing not only the departments to make their pitch for a clean fuels, clean vehicles future, but for the vendors, those who are selling the cars and selling the charging stations, to have a chance to show what they've got And it really is a great pleasure to see all of you here who are helping to build this future. And it is going to take a lot of work from a lot of directions. And it's particularly thrilling for me to have a partner like Commissioner Jim Redeker at the Department of Transportation. We recognize, this governor recognizes that we have to step up. In the past, the federal government may have led the way. That's not happening now. And this governor has said, we're not waiting. We're going to move Connecticut forward while the rest of the country waits, while Washington dithers. And we are going to help build out that clean energy future here in Connecticut in a way that it reinforces not only the governor's commitment to cheaper, cleaner, and more reliable energy, but in a way that recognizes there is a big jobs opportunity and a potential to create a clean energy economy that will support economic growth in this state, prosperity, and improved competitiveness for our companies. But let me bring forward now my partner in this transportation endeavor and our energy transportation commitment, Commissioner Jim Redeker of Connecticut's DOT.
Well, it's great to be here, and it's great to be part of a terrific partnership, and that goes up and down across government and across public and private sectors, because we couldn't be doing this without all of the partners working together. And it's thrilling to be here with starting on a vision for alternative forms of transportation. We've actually just launched at the DOT a new transportation strategy program called Transform Connecticut, and we've heard all about it already this morning. It's part of the jargon, it's part of our lingo, because that's what we're all about. And it's an opportunity for all of you to begin to think about what you want as citizens of Connecticut in terms of a transportation future. So we're taking steps, maybe small steps, but to change the way we do business, but change the way we deliver service through an infrastructure that will provide an electric network. We've already done many of our service plazas and are committed to working as partners in delivering this range anxiety-free network in Connecticut. But it's exciting to be part of a transformational time where we think about a future that's not dependent on cars as we've known them, but cars of the future, bicycling for sure, and pedestrian travel, transit, and expansion of that, and what we do to make our system more effective and efficient. I ask you to participate with us, logging on to our website called Transform CT, and continue to give your ideas about how this initiative should grow and be part of our future. But again, thanks everybody for being here today. Public sector, private sector, partners throughout government, together we can make it work. Everybody said, how are we going to know if you can find a charging station? So we've actually gone way ahead of ourselves before the network is built. Oh, the sign's ready, put it off. And I wanted to get Dan with his own sign. There we are.
Wow.
There we go.
Look at that. Wow. I hope Middlesex doesn't mind. We're going to share the branding here today. Thank you, Commissioner Redeker. Thank you for your department's commitment up and down the line. It really is, as I was saying, a partnership, not only across the two departments, not only a partnership with our public education institutions, they're going to play a critical role, but between the legislative and executive branches of government. So I'm particularly pleased that we've got two of the legislators who've really helped drive the energy agenda through the legislature. Jonathan Steinberg, who is the vice chair of the Energy and Technology Committee. Jonathan, thank you. And Representative Brian Becker as well, who's really made energy a commitment. I want to just take a minute and thank a couple of the DEEP staff, because we've got Department of Energy and Environmental Protection folks who've been putting in lots of long days and into the night trying to prepare not only this event, but for our clean energy strategy more broadly and for our Clean Vehicles, Clean Fuels program. So let me just say, Keisha Christopher and the EVConnecticut staff, thank you very much. Really fantastic. Alex Craigie from the Commissioner's Office, thank you. Jen Riley, Jessica Leclerc, Kate Boucher, thank you as well. All of you, thank you very much. So the governor has said we are going to be the #1 state when it comes to clean energy, and I think today is a big step in that direction. It is an opportunity for all of you to partner with us and to think about whether you can bring some of this clean energy program to your own institution, your own business, your own setting, your own home. So we hope all of you will be taking part in our energy efficiency programs, considering alternative energy where you can, and participating, I hope many of you, in our build out of this electric vehicle infrastructure. So for those who are interested, we do launch today a new website, which is EVConnecticut at ct.gov. So thank you, and there is our website full of information on how to be part of this electric vehicle future. You have here today in one place all of the newest electric vehicle options out there, including hybrid electric vehicles, plug-in electric hybrids, and truly electric vehicles. We've got lots of charging station options so you can see them, and lots of news about why it makes sense to consider an electric vehicle. I mentioned pollution. Clearly, you have an opportunity to bring down air pollution with more electric vehicles. We have a chance to reduce our oil dependency, a chance to bring down our greenhouse gas emissions, a chance, frankly, to get our country on an independent energy track and free of the dependence on the troubled Middle East that is always in the news and where we are otherwise forced to depend on for our energy lifeblood. So it really is exciting to see this opportunity for EVs, electric vehicles, as part of a changed energy future, and one that does promise to contribute in a significant way to the governor's call for a cheaper, cleaner, and more reliable energy future. So I'm thrilled that we're launching this today, thrilled that we've got this website up with lots of information on what it's going to take to get at the clean energy future. I hope all of you will go to www.ct.gov/DEEP and then another /EVConnecticut. Lots of information there on not only electric vehicles, but what you can do. So it is an opportunity for all of us to share the innovation that's going on, and at the heart of the governor's energy policy is a commitment to innovation, to ensuring that we in Connecticut are building out this energy future, promoting a marketplace for trying out new technologies, deploying these breakthroughs, and being part of that build-out of a clean energy future. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of this. The electric vehicles that you see out there are really the future. They're here to stay, and we're committed to make sure they fit nicely into the infrastructure of the state of Connecticut. So it's with a great pleasure to say I drove my Volt today, and I hope you will be driving one tomorrow. Thanks very, very much.